All right, welcome to another episode of HashrateUp Focus. This time I would like to continue going down the hash price rabbit hole. And after we explained the basics of the hash price last time and what it consists of in HashrateUp Focus number 1, I would like now to focus on the dynamics of what happens when hash price either moves up or when it moves down. HashrateUp. Hardware sales, advisory, hosting, and site brokerage. Find new and used ASIC deals through the website and the Telegram channel below. Make smarter decisions with HashrateUp. Right, let's have a quick look at the hash price. We are currently set at $50, and we've seen a difficulty adjustment here, which went to the upside, meaning hash price went down. And then we have subsequently seen a drop in Bitcoin price, which has gotten us from the 52 down to the 50 region. Right. To recap, again, please watch HashrateUp Focus number 1 if this is the first episode you are watching. Hash price is made up of the Bitcoin price for denomination in US dollars, the network hash rate, the block subsidy, the fees, and the difficulty. The hash rate and the difficulty really go hand in hand because one is a derivative of the other. Now, Bitcoin mining hash price dynamics. What happens when hash rate goes up and down? Right? Hash rate moving up means it gets on average more difficult to mine Bitcoin. Difficulty moves up along with the hash rate, which then, what we just saw, means revenue goes down. When revenue goes down, hash rate goes down. That means difficulty follows. Difficulty lowered means again that revenue goes up for those miners who are online. That's as simple as it gets, right? Now, this looks very, very similar. It says essentially the same thing, right? Now, but here I added the Bitcoin price step, right? So if Bitcoin price rips to the upside, that means that hash price moves up. Hash rate also goes up, right? Because now it's more profitable for miners to mine. We will have a look in a moment why. The revenue for miners goes down when the difficulty gets increased. The hash rate again moves down, difficulty moves down, revenue goes up again. And this is how it sort of balances itself out. Now, on average, over the lifetime of the Bitcoin network, hash rate has always grown. Why? Because people want to increase their revenues or they want to keep their stake of the total network the same to keep their revenue stable. And thus, network always moving to the upside means the trend line of the difficulty has moved to the upside. It's gotten more and more difficult for people to mine, and revenue keeps decreasing. The only thing that can balance that out is the Bitcoin price moving to the upside stronger than the hash rate. My personal opinion when it comes to the forecast of revenue, which is also why I think it's a good time to get into mining, is that revenues in Bitcoin miners will stagnate somewhat and the decrease in revenue will slow down. Why do I say that? I say that because from a basis of 100 exahash, for the difficulty to move up by 100%, it only takes 100 exahash. But today, for the difficulty to do the same thing, it takes 1 zettahash, which is 10x the power, 10x the investment, 10x the machines, 10x the people. You get the point, right? It's a lot more difficult for the difficulty, no pun intended, to go up than it was when the network was significantly smaller. And a lot of the low-hanging fruit has been picked. We also have the competition with AI. I go into this a lot more in episodes where I interview industry professionals. Maybe go have a look at those if you're interested in those kind of dynamics. BitX, solomining.de, got it. Premium, made in Germany. You want to go fancy? Go for NerdX or NerdQX++ for a lot of power. Worldwide shipping. Check out solomining.de today. Now, this is where the denomination of hash price in dollar terms gets really important. A lot of the cost or all of the cost that a miner has can be transferred into a cost per kilowatt hour, right? They take their total cost and divide it by the amount of kilowatt hours that they have consumed. And that's it. Now they've converted all of their cost into a $1 per kilowatt hour number, and they know sort of what their break even is. Hash price is important because it also enables every miner to calculate their revenue per kilowatt hour, right? If you know the efficiency of your fleet, you can understand how much money do I make versus how many kilowatt hours did my miners consume. And then I can understand what my revenue is. So what does this look like in practice? We have already looked at the hash price and where it is today. Currently, it sits around $50 per petahash per day or 5 cents per terahash per day. That means for different models, different things, right? The lower the efficiency, the worse the efficiency, the more energy per terahash that's being used, the lower the overall revenue, right? So we see this in the figures here. An old M30S machine makes about, right now, 5.5 cents per kilowatt hour in revenue, real time. The revenue per day is about $4.30, and the efficiency is 38. Compare that to a S21 Pro. Down here, we have a revenue of roughly 14 cents, with a revenue per day of $11.4, and an efficiency which is more than twice as good of 15 versus the 38. You can see the numbers for the other models here. If I now increase the hash price to, let's say, 60, right, the revenue numbers move accordingly. My revenue on the M30S moves up. Across the board, it goes up, right? For the more efficient models, for the better units, for the later units, it moves up more than for the others. If it goes to 100, now we're all cooking, right? Now it's even 11 cents for the M30S. But every miner should look at what the worst case scenario is, right? We all like to be surprised to the upside. So let's have a look on the other side, right? So if it's 35, where the hash price goes to, because network keeps growing, Bitcoin price keeps falling, and there's just a lot of pressure on the hash price. Now we only make 3.8 cents and 9.7 cents on the S21 Pro, right? Considering that many of you will have their miners hosted at about 7.5 cents, you can then also calculate which hash price puts you under the water, which is important if you can manage with your host to turn the machine off for duration or find another agreement should the miner become unprofitable. And that's really it, right? Hash price goes up, difficulty moves up because network growth happens, difficulty gets adjusted, revenue goes down, and vice versa. This is sort of how this game plays. I hope you got something from this episode. Let me know if this helped. Let me know if you have further questions or if I missed anything. Leave a like and a subscription or a comment below. You know how this works. I'll see you next time.